Hey everybody, let's get back working on the van a little bit. What do you say? Okay, so I gotta tell you guys, I changed some stuff off camera. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so let me get the camera to focus here. Okay, so if you'll remember in the last video, I said that I was going to set the motor mounts, because it has these adjustable motor mounts in it. Okay, so hang on, let me show you. See that silver part right there? Those are adjustable motor mounts. And they have like 5 different settings. And I had it set on the 3rd setting. So the 3rd back. Well, so I had it in there and everything was good. And I got to looking at it. And let me show you inside. So if you'll remember from the last video, you see me adjust this dipstick and it's like right up here. So basically what I did is I put the engine on the number 1 setting. Now that's where the stock small block would fit, okay? Now, let me show you what I had to do. So to get this to fit on the 1st setting, I kind of had to, I don't know if you can see it, but I had to grind on this clamshell a little bit right here. So right there, I kind of had to notch this thing to get it to fit in there on the first level. But let me show you why I did that. Okay, so let's crawl underneath the van here. Okay. So, here's the thing. When I had it on, let me zoom back out. When I had it on the 3rd setting, here's where the shifter is. Let me get this speedometer cable out of the way. Here's where the shifter is. And it was way far up here. Here's where the old column shift hooks in. And it was sitting way up here. So I thought by setting the engine back, it would put this almost in line with this, and it's pretty close. This is actually just a smidge back from where this would line up with it. But the biggest thing is here's my cross member. Now I don't have this bolted in or anything, it's just kind of sitting here. And you can see that it's off just a little bit. Okay, so that means this transmission is almost exactly the same length as that Turbo 400. So if it's almost the same length, I'm wondering if my drive shaft and stuff won't line up with this, which would be awesome. That means I don't have to order a custom drive shaft for it. Okay, so I did that stuff off camera. Now, here's what I want to do today. I was thinking about this, and I think if we take this motor mount off, okay, or this transmission mount off completely, I think then I can put my cross member up, and what I'm going to do is just make a plate that goes from this over and will bolt in to my cross member. Then, like later down the road, when I figure out what angle I need this at to match up with my drive shaft, I can just put some rubber, some big rubber grommets or a big piece of rubber or something in here and kind of just make my own transmission mount right there. And I think that will make this way easier, because I was sitting here with this motor mount trying to figure out, well, how am I going to make a mount that bolts in, you know, something welded here that would come down and fit this. And I think that would just be the best way in the world to do this. So I'm going to go see if I don't have some 1/4-inch steel, or let me see what I got in the shop. But I think first thing, I'll set up the other camera. We'll take this mount off. That way I'll have a way to make a pattern to drill the holes and stuff in the other one. So anyway, well, let's get going. Okay everybody, so I got my transmission mount made, painted, and everything. So I'm gonna go slide up underneath the van. I'm gonna show you how this is gonna work. And hopefully this will be a good to go. I know I'm still gonna have to get a piece of rubber or neoprene or something to go in between this mount and the transmission cross member, but we're gonna cross that bridge when we get the parts for the drive shaft so we know how high or low to set it. So anyway, let's get this put in and then we can take all the jacks and stuff out from under the van. Okay, well, we're gonna get under the van and I'm gonna try to show you how this motor mount's gonna work. I don't know if this camera can zoom out far enough so you guys can see it. There it is. So basically all I did was I made a plate. Oh, there you go. I made a plate that bolts to the bottom of the transmission, and then it comes over here. You can see it comes over, and I'll put 2 bolts in here. But before we do that, I need to get some rubber or some neoprene or something, a flat piece to put under here, so this has a little give, so a little wiggle room here. And I don't know exactly how high up this needs to go so it'll line up with my drive shaft. So we're just gonna let this sit right now. I don't have these tightened up, so you guys remember to remind me of that before we go for a drive. I need to tighten these cross member bolts up. I'll make a note, put it on the bulletin board. Okay, so that's one down. It's been a long time since there hasn't been a jack underneath the van, so it's still up on jack stands in the back, but there's no jacks, no engine hoist, no nothing. This engine and transmission is in the van. So what do you say we go top side and we put the top of the motor back together, because I got the O-rings in for the fuel injection system. So let's go do that. Oh, well, all right, everybody. The engine is completely put back together. Got the whole top end put back on. I even put that plastic cover thing back on the top of it. The engine is in there. We got the motor mount done for the motor mount. We got the transmission mount done. Look at this bad boy. Woohoo! She's kind of tight right up here, but we'll figure something out there. But it is all in here, man. That's a whole bunch of screaming freedom, a whole bunch of screaming bald eagles right there. So anyway, hey, this is gonna be Sandville. It's hot, I'm sweaty, I'm gonna go in and take a shower. Be safe out on the dunes. Bye.
What the hell?